Sometimes life brings together the most unlikely people in the most unexpected ways. And sometimes, a single act of kindness becomes the spark that changes two lives forever. This story begins on a rainy Tuesday morning when a tired single dad, carrying a cracked lunchbox and a heart full of worries, crossed paths with a CEO known for her sharp decisions, icy calm, and a past she rarely spoke about. Neither of them knew their lives were about to collide because of an old piano, a forgotten song, and a promise she never thought anyone would take seriously. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment to support your channel name. Your engagement helps us bring more heartwarming stories to life. Ethan Miller was a 34-year-old single dad who worked as a nighttime cleaner in a downtown corporate tower. He didn't complain much. Life had already knocked him down enough times. His wife passed away 3 years earlier, leaving him to raise their daughter, Lily, on his own. Lily was 8, bright-eyed, and always humming little melodies she made up on the spot. Music had been her mother's gift, and somehow that gift lived on through her. Ethan had dreams once. He used to play piano at small cafes, but bills and grief had pulled him away from the life he imagined. Now he worked long shifts and saved every penny for Lily's future. He didn't ask for anything more. But kindness has a strange way of catching people when they least expect it. One early morning, after finishing his shift, Ethan saw a woman standing alone in the company's private lounge. The room was dark except for the soft glow of the city lights. She was staring at a grand piano that looked like it belonged in a concert hall. He recognized her immediately. Madeline Pierce, the CEO of the building's top tech firm. People said she was brilliant, intimidating, and impossible to impress. But that morning, she looked lost. Ethan hesitated before speaking. "Are you okay, ma'am?" She blinked, almost. Surprised someone had noticed her. "I'm fine," she said, but her voice sounded brittle. I used to play. Haven't touched it in years." Ethan noticed her hand tremble slightly as she touched the piano lid. "My mom loved Chopin," she added softly, almost to herself. "She always said I'd find the person meant for me the day someone played her favorite piece perfectly. Silly, right?" Ethan offered a small, gentle smile. "Sometimes those promises matter more than we think." Madeline exhaled, shaking her head with a mix of amusement and exhaustion. "If someone can play Chopin well enough to make me cry," she said, "I'll marry them on the spot." She laughed, but there was pain behind it. Like she didn't believe anyone could ever reach her heart that way again. Ethan didn't say anything else. She walked out, and he finished cleaning. But that moment lingered in his mind all day. That night, Ethan returned home to Lily, who was practicing on their tiny keyboard, the one he bought from a thrift shop. She played clumsy little notes that didn't match any real song, but she did it with joy. "Daddy," she said, "why don't you play anymore?" He froze. Maybe it was the way she asked. Maybe it was the memory of Madeline's tired eyes. Maybe it was something heavier, his wife's voice, reminding him that music wasn't just sound. It was healing. Ethan sat beside Lily and played a few quiet notes. Her eyes widened. "Daddy, you're amazing!" He wasn't, not anymore. But he could still feel something stirring deep inside him. For weeks afterward, whenever he finished his shift early, Ethan practiced on the grand piano in the lounge. He didn't snoop, didn't break rules. He simply touched the keys with quiet gratitude, leaving the room exactly as he found it. And night after night, he practiced the one piece he hadn't played since his wife passed away, Chopin's Nocturne in E-flat major. Her favorite, Madeline's mother's favorite. A song that carried two different heartbreaks, his and hers. But he practiced anyway. One night, Ethan didn't realize Madeline was still in the building. She returned to the lounge to pick up her forgotten phone and froze. Someone was playing the piano, and not just playing, pouring emotion into every note, breathing life into a melody she thought she had lost forever. She stepped closer, her heels silent on the carpet. Ethan didn't notice her. He was lost in the music, eyes closed, hands trembling with emotion. Madeline felt her chest tighten. That song. That exact song. Her mother used to hum it when she brushed her hair as a child. It was the last piece she ever heard her mother play before she passed away. When the last note faded, Ethan opened his eyes and nearly jumped. I'm sorry, ma'am," he stammered. I shouldn't. Where did you learn that? She whispered. My wife loved it, he said, his voice cracking softly. I stopped playing after she passed. But someone reminded me why music matters again. Madeline swallowed hard. That piece, she said shakily. It's the one my mom used to play for me. Silence filled the room, heavy, emotional, honest. Madeline sat down slowly on the bench beside him. You played it beautifully, she whispered. You didn't just play it, you felt it. Ethan shrugged gently. I guess some songs hold a part of us. She wiped her eyes, a hint of a smile breaking through the emotion. Do you remember what I said about marrying whoever could play it well enough? Ethan laughed nervously. I figured you were joking. I wasn't, she said quietly, then added, with a softer tone, but I also didn't think anyone would ever play it again in a way that made me feel safe. She didn't propose. She didn't ask anything of him. Instead, she asked a question that would change his life. Ethan, would you and Lily join me for dinner tomorrow? No business, no expectations, just company. He nodded slowly, overwhelmed. I think we'd like that. What began as one dinner turned into many. Madeline met Lily and instantly adored her. Lily, being her bright and honest self, told Madeline, My daddy smiles more when you're around. Madeline's heart softened more each day. Ethan never tried to impress Madeline. He never pretended to be someone else. He simply showed kindness, quiet, sincere kindness, in everything he did. And Madeline, a woman who lived behind walls built from years of pressure and loneliness, found comfort in the way he treated people. Weeks turned into months, and one evening, at a small charity event Madeline hosted, something beautiful happened. She led Ethan to a grand piano on the stage. Play it, she whispered. He did. This time, she didn't cry alone. She held his hand. And as the last note lingered in the air, she whispered, That promise I made, I think I finally understand it. Ethan looked at her gently. What do you mean? My mom wasn't asking me to look for a perfect musician, she said. She was asking me to look for someone who carries love in everything they do. Someone who plays life the way you play that song. With heart. Ethan's throat tightened. Madeline smiled, soft and real. I'm not asking for marriage. I'm asking, can we keep writing this song together? Ethan squeezed her hand. I'd like that. More than you know. And just like that, kindness, simple, unpolished, sincere, wove together two people who had been hurting quietly in their own corners of the world. Not because of a promise, not because of a song, but because one man chose to be gentle in a world that often forgets to be, and one woman chose to let kindness in again. In the end, kindness isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a soft melody played in an empty room, reminding someone that they're not alone, and if we choose to share that kindness, even in small ways, we might just change someone's life, or let them change ours.